Oh, hello there, my wonderful movie peeps. I am now back home at the studio, and we've got a lot of news to discuss. Some movie news we're going to be discussing here today, guys, is it looks like 1/4 of the fan casting nightmare is over because we have someone closing in to play Reed Richards. We got Blumhouse releasing a trailer for their new upcoming Killer Teddy Bear movie. James Gunn revealing another superpowered person involved in Superman Legacy. That along with so much more, so you guys know the drill. Leave your opinions down below, timestamps in the description, and subscribe. But okay, my bad big goats, starting off with a couple of trailers that were released. One for Blumhouse's upcoming horror movie, Imaginary, which I gotta admit, had me fascinated from the beginning. They first put out like a 30-second trailer where they asked you to imagine the trailer, and although I thought that was kind of silly, it also seemed kind of cool. Then they started really busting out this teddy bear imagery and posters, getting the idea that the bear will actually be the evil imaginary thing haunting you. And now with the first trailer, there is promise here, but I'm still hesitant. The basic premise is a mother returns to her childhood home with her stepdaughters, the youngest one finding a teddy bear named Chauncey, only to discover that it is her old imaginary friend that she left behind, wanting revenge and being a little bitter. Now, the thing that has me most hesitant about this movie is that it's being directed by Jeff Wadlow, and he just made two of my least favorite Blumhouse horror movies, Truth or Dare and Fantasy Island. So that right there has me kind of going, But it is all the teddy bear killer imagery that's going on in this trailer that has me excited. Just the idea of a teddy bear getting big, going after somebody, just like that one shot of that giant teddy bear. I hope there is a lot of that in this movie, because there are other shots of the actual imaginary friend that I'm assuming is controlling the teddy bear, and he just looks like your stereotypical slender evil entity that lurks in the background. So I'm like, please don't tell me this trailer is baiting me with promising a killer teddy bear when most of the time it's just gonna be this dude in the background. So I'm a little hesitant, but I'm gonna go in open-minded and hope the movie turns out good. For now, I'm gonna give the trailer a treasure for that one scene with that giant teddy bear mouth. Please give me a lot of that. What did you guys think of the trailer for Imaginary? And while staying on the subject of teddy bears, we also got our first look and teaser trailer for the upcoming Ted prequel series that'll be coming out on Peacock. It was only 30 seconds long, but it did have one joke in there that made me laugh really hard.
If you're reading this, it means we got a new series on the most successful streaming platform ever. Yeah, we got a new series.
It's going back to the early days of Ted and the Mark Wahlberg character growing up as teenagers and, well, just getting into mishaps. It seems like there will be some comfort fun in there. All 7 episodes will be coming out January 11th of next year, and I definitely think it'll be something I'm gonna put on when I just want to chill at home. Something I'm not gonna spend too much time on, but I definitely think there's an interesting angle to talk about with this, is Bob Iger recently went on Good Morning America and revealed that they are working on Frozen 4. And that might seem a little weird to some people, considering Frozen 3 hasn't even been released yet. But the reason I feel like this is interesting to talk about right now is because we gotta admit, Disney right now isn't exactly where it used to be. I still get excited for the occasional Disney project here and there, but they've lately been off their game. I mean, take a look at their latest animated movie that's coming out, Wish, November 22nd. I bet a lot of you completely forgot this movie's coming. I see marketing, toys, posters everywhere, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like there's no hype for this original Disney animated movie, when back in the day, an original Disney animated film, I would see some hype. A lot of these animated projects also seem to struggle at the box office, so I feel like we're gonna hit a period where Disney's like, look, we gotta get the people back somehow, and how are we gonna do that? With baiting them with movies we know and sequels to giant films like Frozen. I mean, just looking at like the teaser trailer they released for Inside Out 2, I think right now it holds the record for like most viewed trailer of a Disney animated movie, and that's a sequel to a popular film. So Disney pre-announcing something like Frozen 4 before Frozen 3 even comes out might be the norm, where they'll be like, Toy Story 7. Get excited, my friend. So for funsies, what movie in Disney's lineup do you want a sequel get made? You know, me? WALL-E 2, baby. I'm a big WALL-E fan. I need me WALL-E 2. Let's make that happen. Bringing us here to some updates into the DC universe. We had heard that once the Hollywood strike was over, James Gunn was going to inform us of new characters being added to Superman Legacy. And well, he's keeping that promise, because yesterday it was revealed that Maria Gabriela de Feria will be cast as the Engineer, a character from the Authority team joining Superman Legacy. Now, since I wasn't familiar with that character, I decided to look them up and see what they were about. So just reading you like a brief synopsis about what this character is. It says here, Angie Spica is the second Engineer, a member of the Authority. She has a liquid body due to nanites in her bloodstream. With this metal blood, she can create solid objects. So in my mind, she's basically a version of the T-1000 joining into the DC universe. That's a pretty cool power. I'm just most curious how this is all shaping up for Superman Legacy. Like, James Gunn is really not trying to go for a traditional Superman look, at least not in my opinion. I think a lot of the superheroes attached to Superman Legacy are going to be such unheard of heroes for a lot of the general audience. And while I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, and I do have faith James Gunn is going to deliver, in my mind, I just can't picture this Superman Legacy movie. I feel like a lot is riding on the back of this film to be big, to be a hit, to start off the DCU in a big bad way. At the end of it, it's only gonna matter if this movie is good, and then hopefully the rest just comes and follows. But every time I do hear of a new superhero or a new component to Superman Legacy, in my mind I'm just like, I would never have expected that in a Superman film, but I'm gonna let you cook, James. I'ma let you cook. How are you guys feeling about this new addition into Superman Legacy, and does it get you excited? Moving away from DC into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, man, there have been some wild news stories coming out the past couple of days. Let's start off with Avengers Kang Dynasty. So yesterday it got reported that director Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed Shang-Chi and did such a fantastic job there, that he was gifted Avengers Kang Dynasty, which I was excited for. I was like, oh, well, his action scenes in Shang-Chi were pretty cool. I can't wait to see what he does in Kang Dynasty. The man has now left the project. According to Deadline, he was just too swamped working on Shang-Chi 2 and the Wonder Man Disney Plus series that it looks like he was maybe stretched too thin, and they're just gonna go with someone else who's more available. And the article does also mention that he still has a good relationship with Marvel, and he's going to possibly direct other movies down the line. But man, there have just been a lot of interesting things happening with this Kang Dynasty movie, because you guys might have seen there was a report from a writer who recently wrote the MCU Reign book that kind of gave you the history of how Marvel came into power and revealed some behind the scenes stuff. That author revealed that the reason they had fired one of the writers for Avengers Kang Dynasty, Jeff Loveness, who did Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania, is because Marvel is most likely moving away from the Kang storyline. And now with this news, it's making more and more people believe that it looks like Avengers Kang Dynasty might not even be called Kang Dynasty. This might be a completely different Avengers movie than what they had originally planned. I myself am still 50-50 on whether Marvel is actually going to move away from Kang or where they're just going to move forward regardless of the outside legal drama that I don't think is even the 100% cause of why they might move away. I feel like a lot of people just aren't that excited for Kang to be the big bad. So I'm going to be really interested to see if we eventually get a title change for this Avenger movie, who the director they're going to replace him with, and if this is all part of Marvel's plan to kind of shape things up back to quality, or this is just another behind the scenes mess that needs to quickly be cleaned up. I don't know. I'm remaining optimistic though, because I still believe in Kevin Feige. Let me know what you guys think about the director of Avengers Kang Dynasty leaving the movie for Disney Plus series. And well, that wasn't even the big Marvel news of yesterday, because late last night it was getting reported, starting off with a scooper, Daniel Richman, who had come out and revealed that Jake Gyllenhaal, who was the front runner to play Reed Richards in the MCU's Fantastic Four, had passed on the role, and Marvel was now offering it to Pedro Pascal, who is just one pen and paper away from signing that deal. This news then got backed up by actual publications like Deadline and Variety, making it seem like this is actually maybe gonna happen. The articles mentioned the only thing holding back Pedro Pascal from becoming Reed Richards is his filming schedule. He's got to film The Last of Us 2, Gladiator 2, and another movie he's working on. But they're saying even with his busy schedule, there is a window for him to play this role. So, okay, you guys have known me. It has been a nightmare seeing all the fan castings online of the Fantastic Four. We have gone through like every actor, male, female in Hollywood possibly playing these roles. It got to the point where I just became numb to every fan casting and every rumored person out there. But even with all that said, Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards was not on my bingo card. That is definitely a kind of head turner where I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, but the more I let it marinate and sit with me, I think I could be okay with that. Wouldn't have been my first choice, and not even a choice I'm necessarily jumping up and down about, but I feel like he does have the ability to pull it off. I think what has become the most interesting part about the whole Reed Richards and Fantastic Four situation is it's becoming more clear that Marvel has offered this role to a lot of actors in Hollywood. Almost every rumored person we heard was on the table at some point, but then something about the movie made them go, I don't want to do this. Like in the Jake Gyllenhaal situation, apparently it was because Jake was just asking for too much money, and I understand that Jake is a very talented actor. I would pay him what he'd want. In fact, I'm glad he didn't take on Reed Richards because I'm hoping he becomes DCU Batman. But then there were other journalists also mentioning that this will also be the first Fantastic Four movie where it won't necessarily be from the perspective of Reed Richards, in that Sue Storm is more of the main character this time around, kind of Marvel switching things up. A decision I actually don't mind as long as other members of the team get plenty of screen time and attention. But it looks like that could be a factor in some people wanting to join in with Marvel. So overall, this is kind of interesting, and I mean, even jumping off that point, there was also an article that came out that Javier Bardem was also in negotiations to play Galactus in the Fantastic Four movie. And you know what? I kind of like that. Javier Bardem has like a real strong, powerful voice presence to him, and that's what I imagine Galactus would mainly be, is this kind of CGI'd being with the voice of the actor. I would dig that. Still though, we've been in this position before. We've had a finalist. We've had someone almost sign on. I'm gonna wait for Marvel to announce all 4 of them here, but Pedro Pascal, I don't think I'd be that upset with. I'm okay with it. That's what I throw it off to you guys. How do you feel about this latest news concerning the Fantastic Four? But that is all the movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of my day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.